He's spent 12 years in the NFL, all with the Chicago Bears. But for Lance Briggs, he's come to grips with the idea that this might be his last year in Chicago. I'm Prim Saripapat with your ESPN headline. For more on the future of the seven-time Pro Bowler, let's bring in Bears reporter Michael Wright. So, Michael, what's the latest on Briggs?
I think he just sees the writing on the wall. You know, when you look at Lance Briggs, he's one of the most decorated players in franchise history. But he's looking back at a couple of years ago when he saw his buddy Brian Urlacher, and he saw the situation that he went through and how the team ultimately decided not to bring Brian Urlacher back. So if you're not going to bring Brian Urlacher back, you know, what do you think is going to happen with Lance Briggs? And, you know, there are other considerations to look at. I mean, you're talking about, okay, the cap situation. Next year, the Bears are going to have to try to re-sign Alshon Jeffrey, and he's going to command a large salary. So where does Lance Briggs fit in terms of his piece in the pie? And, you know, you also have to look at the scheme. Right now, Lance Briggs is not necessarily a fit in what the Chicago Bears do defensively. You know, he comes from that old school 4-3 Tampa 2 system where he's used to attacking gaps. Well, in this system, they don't ask the linebackers to do that. They ask them to play a little bit slower. And you also have to take into account his age. He's going to be 34 years old next week. You know, you're not going to pay a 34-year-old linebacker $4 million a year, which is kind of what he makes right now. So I just think he sees the writing on the wall. I don't think he wants to retire. I think he wants to continue playing, but he knows he won't continue playing with the Chicago Bears.
So then if he does leave Chicago, where would be a good fit for him?
Well, you know, I was thinking about that yesterday, and, you know, Dallas might be a good fit for him because Dallas is the defensive coordinator is Rod Marinelli, and he was loved out here in Chicago, and they played the same system. Obviously, he could have a reunion with Lovie Smith in Tampa Bay at some point because, again, he's a fit in that defensive system too.
Well, in 5 games this season, Briggs has logged 44 tackles and 1 interception. But as you mentioned, Michael, he's been dealing with injuries. He's missed a total of 10 games over the past couple of seasons, so we'll see what happens with him. Bears reporter Michael Wright, thank you for your time today.